Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Kollin at seductionpower.com. Okay, so we're kind of getting down to the nitty gritty here. Hopefully you have been following my channel for quite a while now. I'm kind of putting the pieces together. So one of the things I've noticed, even on videos that are speaking positively about women, it's like women telling men like, hey, date younger women, here's the advantages, here's why. It's natural, or just something other positive, like, hey, here's how you can make it work. And all these men, they get on there and they're just misery, they're just mad, they're angry. And I want to answer this challenge between the sexes. We simply are misunderstanding each other, and that's it. And let me tell you something, the professionals, Dr. John Gray, the Men Are From Mars, Tony Robbins, wonderful people, great people, awesome. They are completely, totally, absolutely, 100% missing the mark. They're not only missing the mark, they're missing the boat. It's kind of funny, the first 10, 12, 15 years of my career doing this, I would constantly get men that had been through 2 divorces. This was a very consistent thing. They were generally 45 years and older to about 52, or not 52, about 57, upwards of 61, 62, but generally between over 45 and I would say about 55. These were well-educated men. They made a lot of money, and they'd been to all the Tony Robbins seminars. They were loving relationship seminars. They've read all the books. They've gone to the Dr. Barbara DeAngelis, who used to be married to Dr. John Gray. Now, here's the funny thing about Tony Robbins, Dr. Barbara DeAngelis, Dr. John Gray. They've all been divorced and married 3 times. On Dr. John Gray's website, now I'm going back about 15 years approximately. It said right in the middle, there was a big section right across the middle that said, they didn't say warning, but they should have. They basically said, we just want to let you know that more than 50% of the people that take our courses end up in divorce in less than 2 years, which is the same national average of divorce in the United States. But I charge a lot of money and I want your money. Come take our seminars. It's probably not going to work. So it's obvious something's not right. These people are charging an enormous amount of money. People are still getting divorced. They're still getting divorced multiple times. And yet they're the ones telling you, hey, come to me, listen to me to make your marriage work. And yet it's not working. Now, over the years, I would have clients generally, like I said, in their 40s and above, educated. One guy had 2 doctorate degrees. Another guy had 3 master's degrees. One was in communication, which is what I specialize in, but not the left brain form which he was trained in. It's something you learn in college. I teach the right brain communication. So communication, psychology, he had his master's degree in psychology. He also had a master's degree in engineering. The schools he attended, Stanford, USC, Berkeley, and he got a master's degree from each university. Another client had his doctorate degree in psychology, was a marriage family counselor, and he got his doctorate degree from Harvard. I could literally list dozens of men who, with their college degrees, their professions, a lot of them similar or the same that I'm in. They would come to me and they'd be like, holy shit. Okay, let's tell the guy with the two doctorate degrees. He came to me and said, look, I've been to all the professionals, Tony Robbins, Dr. John Gray. He goes, I read all of Dr. John Gray's book. I've got a hard copy cover, signed, autographed hard copy of his book. Okay, watch this. Now, at the time, I was about 34 years old. He was about 48, something like that. And he just went through his second divorce. And he looked at me and goes, what could you possibly teach me that I don't already know? And I'm like, oh, God, here we start with the ego. It was just a man coming in with a closed mind who didn't want to hear shit. And it's like, and I'm thinking, why are you fucking here? Now, I'm laughing inside because his brain is about to be twisted. And I mean completely reversed. So he gave me the spiel of how can you tell me something I don't already know, ego. Like, dude, that's like the most closed-minded thing you could say. And here's what I said to him. I said, I tell you what, I'm going to make you a deal that you can't refuse. I don't want you to pay me a dime. I don't want you to pay me a dime until I've blown your mind out of the water, till you're so completely blown away, so impressed that you absolutely know that what I'm teaching you is everything that they don't know, everything that they've never even heard of, everything that they've never taught you because they don't know that this even exists. I don't want you to pay me because you're being a nice guy. In fact, I don't want you to pay me a fucking dime until you're so absolutely 100 convinced you want to pay me, you want to reward me, you want to pay me the full amount and even more on top of it. I go, I'm serious. I go, if I don't blow your mind, if I don't show you everything that you've never known, I don't want your money. He looked at me and he was like, okay. I go, one rule though, you have to come with an open mind. You have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to listen to what I'm saying with an open mind. I go, if you don't do that, I'm going to kick you out and I'm done with you. I've given you not only a money back guarantee, I gave you a don't pay a dime guarantee. Unless you're absolutely blown away. If you're not blown, I don't want you to be impressed. I don't want you to go, whoa, this is cool. I want you to be blown away. If you're not blown away, I will not take your money. But the one rule is you have to want to learn this so you can understand this. If you understand this and you still don't like it, I'm okay with that. But if you come in with a closed mind and you're not going to listen and you're not going to put the pieces together and you're not going to practice the exercise I give you, etc., etc., I go, then I tell you what, I will shut it down in a heartbeat and I will kick you out. And I'm like, you have literally nothing to lose other than a little bit of time. Now, fortunately, he only lived about 30-minute drive up the highway from me. And I'm only about 7 or 8 blocks from the freeway, so it's like a quick on-off, exit. Now, we did, let's see, how many sessions? We did 10 sessions. He came in about the 8th session. I forget what session, maybe the 7th session. Now, he brought a stack of home study courses, books, the autographed hard copy of Dr. John Gray's, Tony Robbins' books, blah, 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 because him and both his ex-wives went and took that special Fiji training where they only allow, I think it's 20 couples. It's very limited. Uber, I think it's like $10,000 per person, like uber expensive. Maybe it's 40 couples, so Tony can give them more time and attention and, whatever. He came in with a stack of stuff and he slams it down on my hard wooden table. And I said, look, I told you. I go, you don't have to pay me. I go, you haven't paid me nothing. You've lost nothing. He goes, no, you don't understand. Because I thought he was pissed. He goes, everything you said is right. My wife was saying this to me for 2 years before she finally left me, and I didn't hear what she was saying. She was saying A, but like you teach how the left brain processes it differently than the right brain, I was hearing B, and I really believe she was saying B when she wasn't saying B, she was saying A. Mins, as my drill sergeant used to say. You don't understand women. Nobody does. I do. And the people that have taken my courses, they do. The guy with his doctorate degree from Harvard who was a marriage family counselor, there was a moment in our course where his brain clicked and he got it, because I was telling him something. I go, look, whenever a woman starts flipping out on you, she's just being ridiculously hysterical, she's not making any sense, and all you're gonna do is argue, grab your keys, grab your coat, and calmly walk out. Don't say nothing, don't yell, don't cut, just leave. Go to the bar, go to your buddies, play some pool, and come back in about 2 hours or so, and I promise you, she's going to be the happiest woman on the planet. She's like, yeah, but oh yeah, there was another guy with his master's degree who was also teaching counseling for marriages. He goes, but Mike, they tell us to stay there. They tell us to talk it out. I'm like, yeah, and that's why the divorce rate is through the roof. He goes, what? I go, don't you know that the divorce rate in the United States is that 50% of all marriages end up in divorce in less than 2 years? He goes, yeah. And I go, and now he was Iranian. He was born here, so he's an American, but his father and mother were Iranian. And I already know how this works. And I go, and I'm looking, I go, you're Iranian? He goes, yeah. I go, what does your father do? And he looks at me, he kind of looked down, looked left, looked right. This was Mark, by the way. I'm building my testimonial pages up. I've got a new website, but I'm going to put his testimonial back up soon. So he looked at me and he starts to grin. He starts to giggle. He goes, oh my God, that's what my dad does. He literally just grabs his coat, grabs his key. He goes down to the local pool hall. He goes up to the bar. He has a beer or two, and he comes back about 2 hours later. And I go, and let me guess, don't say it. And I go, don't you say it. I go, I'm going to say it for you. I go, I guarantee you, your mom runs up to him, whether it's through the kitchen or to the front door, whatever, hugs him, probably even kisses him on the cheek once or twice, and says, what do you want for dinner? I'll make you anything. And she's extremely happy. He goes, she is. And I go, gee, Mark, how long have your parents been married? He looked at me, he goes, before I was born. So they'd been married for 30, maybe 40 years at this point. And I said, the proof's in the pudding, man. And this psychologist had his doctorate degree from Harvard. He looked at me, he said the same thing as my parents did the same thing. And he's getting really quiet. I go, yeah, all that stuff that they told you to tell people, it has caused a lot of divorces. And that's what he said. He goes, I tell all the men, don't leave, sit there and discuss it with her and talk it out. And I go, what happens? He goes, they end up in divorce. All right, so now what this video is about is this right here. Okay, so this video, again, it was a very positive video done by a woman talking about older men. You don't realize when girls ask you this, they're hitting on you, okay? So right out the bat, I'm a 63-year-old man, I'm retired and at peace. Why would I invite aggravation, arguments, accusations, manipulation, meltdowns, tantrums, entitlement, guilt trips, judgment, silent treatment, humiliation? I mean, it goes on. I gotta go next one. Another guy, I'm in my 60s, I've been single now for 10 years, and he goes on about the negativity of women. So he's been married like 35 years, and then there's another guy's been married for, where was it? Where is it? So there's another one that was married for like 35 years or 25 years. And all they do is talk about how horrible the experience was, blah, 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 blah. Well, here's the deal. Now, you guys talk about stoicism, and yet you don't give a shit what they're saying. You don't listen to it. No, you don't. You can't even hear what they're saying. I had a client very recently where I've told them over and over, the female mating system is connected to her right brain's communication center. Right brain's communication center. Right brain's communication center. Right brain. Sorry about that. I was in repeat. Now, the reason I say that is because you guys have heard this. You've heard me say it. You hear other people say it. And it's like your brain can't go 1 + 1 = 2. Okay, let me say it one more time, because I guarantee you there's a couple of you out there that literally can't hear what I'm saying. I'm going to say it one more time. The female mating system has a nerve that curves off to the right brain's communication center. So what turns a woman on? Eyes visual or ears auditory? Gee, this is a hard one, Mike. If you said eyes, you are fucking wrong. It is her ears. Your looks as a man has nothing to do with turning a woman on and attracting her sexually and turning her mating system on and literally triggering it. What turns her on is the hidden right brain language, which, guess who teaches that? That would be me. So I've got this client who always talks about stoicism, and I just found a video last night that talks about how it's not about things, it's not about your looks. For women, it's about emotional power, it's about emotions. The right brain is the emotional, creative, spiritual processor. The right brain language is the emotionally fulfilling language. I think there's a connection here. Now you can understand, this is someone that purports to be a real stoic, and he's really big on stoicism. And yet, here's what I'm saying. I'm trying to be rude, not really rude, but to emphasize something that it's really hard for the male brain to grasp. If they're not like me, then I just don't believe you, Mike, because it's got to be visual. It's got to be looks. It's got to be about the way she looks, not the way he looks. It's the way she looks. Because Mother Nature wired us to be stimulated visually to make sure her body is healthy. So her body is a healthy vessel for the baby to be inside her womb for 9 months. Because if she's dying of cancer, if she's got rickets or I don't know, whatever, she's dying essentially. Why would you impregnate a woman that's on the verge of death or whose body isn't healthy enough to carry a baby, a child, till term? So Mother Nature hardwired into you to be external visual. But for women, it doesn't work that way. She was designed to be auditory communication, so words go into the ears. So women, I'm pointing to my ears, my right ear, by the way. Women are sexually turned on by right brain, and I'm pointing to my ear, and I'm going to say the word here, communication. Again, right brain, not logic. It is not logic. It is not logic. So men are convinced it's about logic, it's about external things, because the male brain is the external brain. It's about money. See, for men, it is about money. It's all about money. And men are flipping out. Like, you have these guys on these podcasts. I made a video just before this, how this guy literally said, women are making the wrong choices. They're going to college to get their bachelor and master's degrees. And they're fucking, they shouldn't do that. I mean, that's just not going to work out for a marriage. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, since when did we become a country of fucking mamby-pamby men where we're telling people not to get a fucking education? But here's the deal. It makes sense because men highly value the power of money and buying thingies. My ex-girlfriend used to make a joke of it. Oh, you men and your thingies. Because women don't respect it at all. You buy her a Ferrari, she wants the fucking car, but she looks at you like, wow, what a fucking simp. That doesn't make me fall in love. But the hidden, emotionally fulfilling right brain communication language does, because our mating system's connected to it. Hello? Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. So here this guy who purports being a stoicist, and he talks about it, and this is a big thing in his life, and yet I'm like, I can't tell you. I mean, I'm barely watching videos on stoicism, and they keep saying what I'm saying. Here's my point. Because we're not wired the way women are, we almost can't even hear the words that don't match up with male visual, male external, money, the power of money, external things that we value. So what we do is we project who we are onto women. But guess what? Women do the same thing. They try to seduce you in the way that women are seduced, and it doesn't work for the male brain. The male system is direct. I met a woman at a coffee shop, and I explained this. I go, men do not like to be sexually teased. And I'll tell you right now, don't do that. And she goes, oh, I know. And now she was about 35, maybe 30 years old. I go, what do you mean? She goes, oh, I learned. She goes, men act like you killed their firstborn child when you play hard to get sexually. She goes, I realized men would rather have you say, no, we're not going to have sex, so they know directly, because the male brain is the direct brain. We understand direct communication. If you don't do direct communication, for the men don't understand it. But women don't speak the direct language. They speak the indirect language. Again, it's like you have linear math, and then as you get into advanced math, as you move forward in college, there's something called non-linear math. There's something called non-linear physics. So here's the deal, guys. Just because you speak the left brain language, it doesn't make you fucking God of the universe. Just because people in Mexico speak Spanish, it doesn't make them wrong. Okay? We are speaking two completely radically separate different languages, and we are using two completely different processors. The left brain is the external processor. It values external things like money, gold, jewelry, expensive cars and houses and things. It's about things. You value things, and then you project it and say, well, that's what women are all about. No, it's because that's all men have offered women over the tens of thousands of years. Because you think that's what it's about. Well, now we're in an age and time where, hey guys, she doesn't need your fucking money for the first time in history for the last 30, 40, 50 years. Now she's independent financially as well as physically because she has the pill. So she gets to decide when she gets pregnant, and she doesn't have to rely on you. So now the financial exchange game is gone. And if that's what you're relying on, you're fucked. You're powerless. You have no power in this game. So that client of mine with 3 master's degree was a multi-millionaire. He just lost his second $5 million fucking dollar home to his fucking ex-wife, his second ex-wife. And he came to me going, I don't understand. I did everything I could. I bought her a house. I bought her a bigger house. Bought her a $2 million house. And then I bought her a $5 million house. And then I bought her a Mercedes. And then I bought her a Ferrari. And I'm like, yeah. I go, and I do my famous thing. I go, how well did that work for you? He goes, what? I go, how well? And I screamed it, how well did that work for you? He goes, not very well at all. I ended up in divorce. I'm like, so stop doing it. Tiger Woods, Bill Gates, this person, that person, all these rich and famous people. I'm talking basketball stars, football stars that are worth $50, $100 million, $200 million. I mean, Tiger Woods' wife got $300 million in the divorce, and that was like 15, 20 years ago. When are you guys going to finally learn fucking money and buying her thingies doesn't mean shit to her? It makes her feel like you don't care. Men, it is time to grow the fuck up. It is time to say, you know what? I don't know what's going on. And that's what happened. That's what I noticed. These men who were over 45, who had been divorced twice, who were in love in high school, had one or two loves in college, and they lost all these women they generally loved. So they generally were about 5 women that these men had generally been in love with and cared deeply about, who left them. And they're like, I don't understand. Like, what am I missing? I've been to all the Dr. John Gray's courses, the Tony Robbins, the pickup artist courses. Like, it's not working, Mike. Okay. Our mating systems are in our lower reptilian brain. I'm being sarcastic right now, but I'm going to repeat it. The male mating system connects to the optic nerves, which connect to our eyes. The female mating system has a nerve that curves off to the right brain's communication center. Right brain, communication. So this guy's been studying Stoicism that talks about, hey, it's not about in fact, right here it says desire is emotional. It's not logical. This came from a Stoic video. That's where I got this picture from. And it says it on all the Stoic videos, and all these men are like, no, Mike. And this is what he said. He goes, Mike, it's got to be at least a little bit visual. I'm like, oh my fucking God. It's the emotional, creative, right brain language. Right brain communication equals emotions. The right brain language is the emotional language. But wait, don't run off and start crying. That is not what I'm saying. And that's what men did in the late 60s and 70s when women say it's about emotions and feelings, and it's not about crying. It's not about being sad. Because here's what the men did in the 70s, and all the music, all the rock songs. Oh, I loved her. I missed her. And it was all this emotional, sad, wimpy, simp-like fucking songs that didn't work. So simply put, women try to seduce and turn men on the way a woman is turned on. They play hard to get. Men try the direct approach. That doesn't work either because she's not direct. The right brain is literally the indirect language. It's the indirect processor. I am not joking. In the course, see, all of this stuff is not easy to teach to the male brain because I've got this client where I'm just like, bro, like how many times I got to tell you it has nothing to do with looks. I can prove it. And I told him, I go to your local college, whether it's a junior college, a university, go talk to the professors about the brain and ask them about the female's mating system. What does it connect to? They will fucking show you on a fucking map, on a fucking chart, in a fucking image. It curves off to the right brain communication center. I don't know how many times I gotta fucking say this. Now here's the funny part. Just use your logic. Our mating system's connected to our eyes. Turns out Mother Nature has a higher purpose because we want to make sure we mate, impregnate a woman with our seed who is healthy, who has a physically healthy body. That actually makes sense. And when I tell women that, they're like, oh, I thought men just didn't care about it. Because women are like, it's all about the person on the inside emotionally. And they're like, men don't care about that. And they think because we look at their tits and ass that we're just savages, that we don't care. Okay, we are a little savage, but there's nothing wrong with that. So anyways, but the thing is, we actually do care about women. And another thing is the way we express our love to a woman, she can't receive it that way. It has to be done in the right brain language, in the internal way, using these processes that the right brain processes, which I'm not even going to bring up right now because you have to learn it in the course because you won't understand it in a fucking video. Now watch this. So in this video, this guy says, okay, so one guy says he's been married for 35 years and he's the one who bitched and moaned and complained, about guilt trips and judgment and this and this and this and that and anger and fucking ill treatment. Well, here's the deal. There's something called narcissist. This man, if you look at his description, if you have actually studied narcissism, he was married to a narcissist. And he was married to her for 35 years. This is a man that didn't date a lot of women, was married 5 different times, and had children with all 5 women. No, this is a man who was with one woman for 35 fucking years, and now he is generalizing and saying, all women are this way. No, sir, you were just married to a really wicked person, and I agree with you. She was a wicked person. There's no denying that. Now, let's go back to Stoicism. What do they teach you in Stoicism? Fucking walk. Have some self-esteem and some self-respect. Anytime a woman treats you ill, walk. He didn't. He was desperate. He didn't know how to get other women. He didn't know how to communicate with women, as you guys don't. And he stayed with her out of desperation because he was unwilling to take an open mind and go, the stuff that I've been doing is not working. Maybe there's a better way. Hey, Mike Kollin's Seduction Power. That's the better way. I'm going to say one more thing based on these comments, okay? So this guy says, I'm in my 60s, single for 10 years now. After 35 years of marriage, sex and marriage are not worth the trouble that women bring to it. Life is so much easier and stress-free living without a woman, and I don't miss sex at all. Well, too bad for him. I'll still single for the rest of my life, and that is the trade-off. Living alone, not having someone to love you, not having those good emotional feelings and physical feelings. And here's the deal. If you go to Mexico and you don't speak the language, I promise you, you're going to struggle down there. It's going to be very hard. If you can't speak Spanish, you are not going to do very good in that country, okay? So if you learn to speak Spanish, all of a sudden, it becomes less and less stress. You have more and more understanding. The better you learn the language, the better it becomes. The more happy you become, the more fun you can. The more reward you get, the more money you make, the more everything. Life becomes better. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. There's something to learn here. Here's the problem with you guys. You guys have no idea what you stumbled upon. You really don't. When you take the course, you're going to be blown the fuck away. Here's what you're going to tell me. I promise you. You're going to come back like Adam did, like all those millionaires did, like those doctorate degrees. They're going to, holy shit, this is what my wife was trying to tell me for years. These men will call me back 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 2 years later, thanking me. It's like, I'm so glad I found you. It was just like someone sent me your link, or I just came across your book and I read your book and it blew me away. Like, I'm so freaking glad that I took the course. It's going to change your life. Because here's the deal. This is what I said to that client of mine. I'm like, how do I talk about women? He goes, you're always having fun with women. I go, how are these guys talking about it on these YouTube channels? He goes, they're mad, they're angry, they're pissed. They feel like life is unfair. I go, yeah, exactly. Because they don't know that they don't know. Boom. Mic drop. That's the problem. When you have a client who's worth $300 million, who's very well respected in a very, very popular area, who tells you you're better, he goes, you're better than Tony Robbins. He goes, maybe not at business coaching, maybe not at life coaching, but when it comes to understanding women, dating, relationships, and marriage, he goes, you're the best in the world. This guy flew me out to work with his associate. He was worth $90 million. All right, go to my next video. And let's get started there. I'm going to show you a different side. I'm going to start off with the end of this, and I'm going to go into another segment, which I think is going to show you something. It's going to open your eyes. Click subscribe, click the like button, go ahead and make a comment, and as always, buy my book, Crack the Female Code. Right now, it will change your life. Go to crackthefemalecode.com or go to seductionpower.com. They're both aimed at my website. Grab my book. Better yet, get the ultimate package. It has all the pieces in there. Get the Girl, Keep the Girl, which is another book I wrote. It's not as long. It's about 150 pages or 160 pages, and some other things. So go there, get the bonus package, etc., etc. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next video.